Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, back again in our YouTube channel. My name is Sulis Regita Cahyani. I am from Class C, Matematika Education, Singaperbangsa, Karawang, University. The content of the video is speech about mathematics. I was given the task of changing the sound of this video with my voice. Curious about the result? Let's check this out. %26%. On the nation report part, the super chart below for 12 graded for subtraction in math. In America, we pride us being an exceptional country, but does 26% sound exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as the country we need to do way better than this. I'm with you. We all need math for why so many can confuse bias. It is because only 26% of people are hardwired bearing from that, while 70% are not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you this is get the kids at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it a dehumanized subject. But if we make math human again, it will start make sense again. You're probably wondering how is math in every human in the first place, so think about it. Math is human language, just like English, Spanish, and Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build a monument, to measure the land for farming. This idea of math, the language, isn't exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "To love of nature and written in the language of mathematics." So easy, even Galileo agrees on it. But somewhere along the line, we're talking the language of math with about the real world on us, and we abstract it beyond the resignation. And that's why kids they get confused. Let me show you what I mean. With this third grade California math stand, and people make sense when accurate. Understand the fraction whenever b as the quantity formed by one part when evolve a partition into b equal part. Understand a fraction a per b as the quantity formed by a parts of size whenever b. And if you give the reaction to accurate, you probably get a reaction like this. To a math expert, that stand makes sense. But to a kid, it's an absolute truth. I tell examples especially because the fraction are the foundation to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So kids don't understand fraction in elementary middle school because they had half word wide around in high school. Is there a way to make fraction simple and easy for kids to understand? Yes. Just remember that math is language and use that fair damage. For example, when I teach first grader how to add subtraction, I start with the apple plus lesson. First I ask 1 apple plus 1 apple, and people often say 2 with the particle reg. Half them equal to word as well the with math of language, but not just 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 3 pencils. You all know that pencil plus pencil is pencil, so everyone, how many pencils? 5 pencils is right. And the K is the include word. I try submit with my 5 years old niece in month. After says LD pencil and pencils, I cancer use what for 5 billions plus 1 billions, and my aunt ever had in the season. She is called and said, "Are you crazy? She's been kindergarten. How is she supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? I'm done it." My Finnish accounting looks up and say 5 billions, and I say that's right, it's 5 billions. My aunt stood ahead on that because it's the exact form the 5 years, but all you have to is like reach a page and the math become to it and see to understand. Then I asked her question the kindergarten difficulty to so best to know. plus 1/3 plus 1/3, and she immediately answered 3/3, such as wondering how can possible know that what doesn't know denominator and denominator yet. So you see, when thinking about numerator and denominator, she solved problem this way. And she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So even a kindergarten fraction, you will better believe that every third grader can do it well. Just for fun, I asked her an algebra question. What 7x² plus 2x² and then 5 years collectively answered 9x². And she doesn't any explain rules to figure that it out. So when the people say that we're either wired or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so we have all ability to understand this. We need to take a language opposite to math accountantly because too many kids are lost and the explanation about math, and it doesn't have to be. I work with angry, frustrated high school student one who couldn't pass the algebra because he only knew 44% of the multiplication text. I told her that such a kind of weird, only knowing the 44% the alphabet, holding me back. She couldn't pass her or public relation, and she had no confidence in that. And she resolved this teenager had confidence in herself. I have told her we have to start with the multiplication because when they know all you have with your part, everything gets easier and they will be having a fast pace every happy ride in this. And she said, okay. But successfully learned the timetable in 4 weeks, and yes, even a multiplication has the language in better than that. You will be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out 7 times 3, which just means 3 7 times, just like that. So when kids see the way, they quickly realize that the repetition is slow and continuous. To calculate, they memorize that 3 7 times, although with the 21. The future teenager will also to dropping out, becoming full and confident in multiplication with the game changer, because for the first time we can focus on the problem solving instead of the counting of the finger. I'm new, says the corner, when she's figured out that 2 years quarterly at 405 a month will cost you $10,680, and she's looked at me disappointedly and she said, it is a folly suck, that's expensive. At that moment, not having one causing problem for her, but still keeping a math solved problem as the responsible to adult. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to be higher, thoroughly you with this challenge. Our country is stuck at 26% subtraction, and I challenge you to pass the number higher. This is important because mathematics thing cannot fill your mind. But our kids needed to imagine and develop their future. Meeting the challenge can be as simple as apples plus apples. Instead, that teach math human language, and we get there sooner rather than later. Thank you.